Imagine you're sitting to dinner with your family, as you always do. A big pot of homemade chili set before you. Everyone has their bowl filled and ready for Pa to say grace, so everyone can dig in. Pa finishes, then everyone takes a bite, but then, oh my goodness, you all get up and run for the spring. That chili is so spicy, it eat the silver plumb off a Ma's spoon. Now, what happened? How did that chili get so hot? Appalachia, the mountains are like no other. From its rigid terrain, beautiful wildlife, the history, to the people that live their lives here, to the strange, unexplained stories that folks share. Join me while I share this amazing place, one story at a time. You know, a big part of Appalachia is a funny story. To keep your mind off of things, well, I have a few I'd like to share that come from my very own family. Way back when my dad was a boy, him and his family worked the fields. One day, Grandma wanted to make chili for supper. While everyone was gone, she put it together, set it over the fire to slow cook all day long. Well, round about lunchtime, everyone come home for lunch. But she had to run to take her mother to see the town doctor. On the way out, she suddenly remembered that she'd forgot to put the hot sauce in the chili. So she asked Grandpa to put it in, but he was just way too tired. Well, then she asked the kids to do it, and she got the same story. So she said, "Fine then, I'll do it myself when I get back." So when she finished at the doctor's office, took her mom home, went to the kitchen, and put the hot sauce in and let it cook a while longer. Well, supper time came. She dished out everyone a bowl. Grandpa said the blessing, then everybody took a bite, and then got up and run to the spring to cool their mouths. That chili was so hot, it eat the silver plumb off her spoon. Well, when everyone got cooled off, she said, "Land sakes, I don't know how." Oh, she said, "Land sakes, I know I didn't put that much hot sauce in it." And Grandpa said, "You didn't put it in, I did." Well, then all the kids said, "No, y'all didn't put it in, we put it in." Well, you see what happened is, apparently everyone got to feeling mighty guilty on how they told Grandma that they were just too tired. So Grandpa put it in. Well, the kids not knowing that Grandma put it in, the kids put it in. And, well, Grandma not knowing they put the hot sauce in, well, she put some in too. And my grandmother swore to the day she died that that chili was so hot it would set the woods on fire if it got dumped out. She never did tell me what she did with that old chili. I'm sure she dumped it in the water or something so that she sure was scared it'd set the woods afire. But I always thought that was a funny story, and the Appalachian storyteller did one about a pie and the salt, and it reminded me of this, so I had to share this one with y'all. Now, the next story, this one happened to me just the other day. I was out mowing the yard, really focused on what I was doing, getting into it. Where all of a sudden, bang! I heard a gunshot. It was so loud, it sounded like it came from right behind me. So I run and ducked behind the cars, and I ducked and dodged until I made my way into the house. Well, I grabbed my old shotgun that lays right behind the front door, and I headed back. I headed back out just to see what the heck was going on. I looked and I looked, and I never saw or heard a thing. I just couldn't figure out what happened. So I went back to mowing. When I finished up, went in, sat down to cool off, got me a drink. Well, my wife asked me to go to the shop. She needed a drill so she could hang a picture. I got into the shop and grabbed my old drill, but strangely, it was all wet. And I said, what in the world is all over this drill? I look up and I see it. I found out just what that bang was. A week prior, I had made some kraut, and it was in the shop fermenting. Well, apparently, I had forgotten all about it. Well, see, one important step when you're making kraut is you're supposed to leave the lead loose or burn the jar. I didn't do either, so it exploded all over the shop. Now, can you imagine what the neighbors thought of me ducking and dodging behind the cars and then running around the house with the old 12 gauge? Lord have mercy, was that embarrassing. Well, folks, I want to thank you for sitting and listening to these two funny stories that happened to me and my family over the years. Well, I appreciate you listening. I love you to pieces, and I'll see you next time.